All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. Today is Sunday, November 20th, 2022, and you are now watching Permission to Exist. I am your host, Permission to Exist, also known as PTE, and we are going to get into a very serious topic this evening. So, welcome, everyone. Welcome to the show. I know it's been a little while, but as I explained on my last live stream, I have been so busy. But I felt like we needed to come on and discuss this topic this evening. And I also promised you guys that I would resurface sometime around mid November. So here I am, a little past mid November, but here I am. So, welcome to the show, everyone. It's so good to see you all. It's great to have you. Want to give a big shout out to everyone who supports the channel in any meaningful way, be that Patreon, Cash App, Super Chatting, or liking, commenting, and subscribing to the channel. It means the world to me, and I appreciate all of your support, every single one of you. So thank you. Let's get into this topic tonight. This is pretty serious, and it's actually one of those topics that I've been nursing for a while. And a recent story that has come out in the news actually really helped me bring this whole entire thing together. So, the first part of the stream, I'm going to briefly cover that story. I'm sure many of you are very familiar with it already, but some of you may not be. You may not have heard anything about this, but it is starting to make mainstream news and national news. I heard about it on Twitter first. And then I've been kind of following it on Twitter, and then it slowly but surely started to creep into the mainstream narrative. So I'm going to give you a brief overview of that. Then we're going to kind of do a deep dive into jealousy and the topic of jealousy and what it is. This is a topic that comes up a lot casually in conversation, but I don't think people really understand just how deep jealousy can go and just how bad it can be and the type of consequences that can result from jealousy. So, what I want to do tonight is explore jealousy itself, talk about kind of what's going on inside the mind of a jealous person, and discuss things that we can do to try to keep ourselves safe from this as much as we're able to. So, that's kind of the flow of tonight's show. And I think you all will find it very interesting and possibly very validating if you've been through any experiences like this, okay? So, welcome everyone. Welcome in the chat. It's good to see you guys all again. I do hope to pick up production some more in December. Then by January, we should be going full speed ahead again, okay? So, let's jump into it. Welcome to everyone as you fill into the chat. So, this story involving a young lady named Shanquella Robinson is probably one of the more shocking things that I've heard in a very long time. And it's hard to shock me these days. It really is. But this was really bothersome for so many reasons. But I think one of the reasons it's so bothersome is because there's actually video that goes along with it. I will not be showing the video. However, if you are interested, the video has gone viral on social media. Tragically so also, because this is truly this girl's last moments. And it's been shared all over social media. And unfortunately, in the video, for reasons unknown, she is nude. She's not wearing any clothes. So we don't know if she just came out of the shower, if they were getting ready to go to the beach. You know, some people skinny dip in like hot tubs and things like that. So no one really knows why she was nude. But there's a video going around where, well, let me back up a little bit. I'm getting ahead of myself. This young lady, Shanquella Robinson, went on a trip to Mexico with 6 of her friends. And I hope you can hear the air quotes, friends, okay? So-called friends. And she was down there for less than 24 hours before she was found no longer alive by a hotel cleaner, I believe. A housekeeper found her. Less than 24 hours. She shows up in Mexico with her friends. Less than 24 hours, she's no longer with us. Now, her friends flew back to the United States. So they left her there, flew back to the United States, contacted her parents, and told her parents that she passed away from alcohol poisoning. And that was the story that they were sticking with. Well, when the Mexican officials ran an autopsy on this young lady, it was discovered that she had a broken neck and a fractured spine, which does not come from alcohol poisoning. I mean, theoretically, you could be so drunk that you stumble and trip and fall down, but they found her in her Airbnb hotel. They didn't find her like outside at the base of some stairs. So that excuse is out the window really, really fast. So once this news broke on social media, well, let me back up again. Then a video came out. And what is displayed in the video is this young lady on your screen, Shanquella Robinson, being attacked by another person. And I'm saying person for a reason, because there's a lot of speculation that this woman has not always been a woman. I'll put it that way. That this woman only recently became a woman, but that is alleged. I think it might just be a rumor. I think it might just be hearsay. No one has been able to actually confirm that. However, Shanquella's death was classified as a femicide, not just a simple homicide. It was classified as a femicide, which is a gender-based homicide. In other words, you took someone's life on the basis of their gender. Now, why would that matter if it was two women fighting? Or if it was just another woman who attacked her, because she really wasn't fighting at all. And that's kind of what makes the video so sad. You got some guy who apparently was her best friend, videotaping it, recording the whole thing on his smartphone. And when the person, who we believe is a woman, but we're not sure, started jumping on Shanquella, the man, the guy recording the video says, "Quella, you not gonna fight back?" And she responds, "No." And she didn't. And it's kind of choking me up a little bit. I'm not gonna cry. It's just so sad. Because she said no. And she didn't fight back either. Not even a little bit. Like she didn't even really block the blows and the punches and the kicks. She didn't even really block them. She just took it. It's so sad. Anyway, so that video came out, and she's also nude. So this person jumped on her when she was completely naked, you guys. No clothes, no shoes, no clothes, nothing, okay? So they recorded it. Somehow this video gets out, and that's what caused the whole situation to go viral and got everyone talking about it. Now the 6 friends are pretty much on the run. I believe they're all from North Carolina, and they've fled North Carolina. They're on the run because the issue is, because this occurred in Mexico, it's sort of kind of out of United States jurisdiction. However, the FBI has opened an investigation, and the FBI of the United States is looking into it. Thank God. Because the Mexican officials had pretty much written it off. Like, oh, well, it happens. And if people hadn't made such a fuss on social media about this situation, it probably just would have been written off as, oh, well, she partied too hard in Mexico. Too bad, so sad. But the fools, which sometimes you got to be grateful that people are so foolish, recorded it. And apparently there's another video. That one has not come out yet, though. They recorded this person attacking this young woman, and she did not defend herself, and she's completely naked. And then either they leaked that video, the video got out. I don't know how the video got out. And then the chat says the guy on the run was caught as of Friday. Oh, bravo. Brilliant. Brilliant. I hadn't seen that yet. Thank you for letting me know that. Hopefully they catch all of them, because they all are culpable and they all need to be arrested and go serve time in a Mexican prison. You don't get the luxury of an American prison. you go serve prison in Mexico, preferably for life. That's just what I'm on. Preferably for life if they don't give you the death penalty. But I don't know how Mexico handles like that kind of stuff. Anyway, that's the backstory. For anyone who is unfamiliar with this case, if you want to learn more, all you have to do is search her name and you can find everything you want to find about it thus far. You'll also see the video, but it is pretty graphic and it's very, very sad. So, just really briefly, let me do the article really quick. Really quick. It said friends said woman's death on Mexico getaway was caused by alcohol, but authorities suspect homicide. So here's the young lady, Shanquella Robinson. Apparently, she was a business owner. She did hair, she braided, she had a lot going on for herself, apparently. And that matters. And we'll get into why here in a second. It says after the parents of Shanquella Robinson discovered their daughter had died while vacationing in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, late last month, the friends she was with allegedly told the shocked family that the 25-year-old had died of alcohol poisoning. But Robinson's death is now being investigated as a homicide, Mexican authorities have told several media outlets. Additionally, the FBI has opened an investigation into the death of the Charlotte, North Carolina resident. According to the state attorney general in Mexico investigating the case, Robinson's death on October 29th was a femicide, a form of a gender-based hate crime. So again, if this was simply two women fighting or one woman attacking another woman, why would they classify it as a femicide? I agree, Hot JavaScript. It says this story haunts me. It's very haunting. It's deeply disturbing for so many reasons. So many reasons. And that's why we're here talking about this tonight. Because the reason tonight's topic is the complex nature of jealousy is because as I was like reading through Twitter threads and reading through different comment threads on different websites and stuff, so many people were saying they were jealous of her. They were jealous of her. They were jealous of her. Here's a picture of her by the pool. They were saying they were jealous of this girl. You know, she was getting her life together. She had a little business going. People liked her, things of that nature. So, and who knows what the situation is with the other people that she was there with. But the topic of jealousy kept coming up over and over and over again. Oh yeah, and they allegedly stole $10,000 from her. I think they took her credit card and ran up 10K on it. Real stupid. But again, sometimes we have to be grateful that criminals are so dumb. We got to be, because their stupidity often gets them caught. And that's the brilliant part about it. But it's still so sad that it happened to this girl. And I think, yeah, I agree. Chat says jealousy at this level is demonic. Absolutely. I think it bothers women so bad, and in particular, Black women so bad, because I think we've all been in situations or in friend circles or associate circles where we suspected or maybe even found out that someone or more than one person was jealous of us in our friend circle. And so many of us have experienced the end result of that jealousy, be it the way we were treated, the way we were spoken to, all kinds of different circumstances that can occur when someone comes down with a really bad case of jealousy. Okay. And I've shared this with you all before. I'll say it again. Jealousy as a concept, at least towards me, has always been very hard for me to process, because I'm like, do you listen when I talk? Have you heard the things that I've gone through? You want to walk in my shoes? You want to live this life? You're insane. So how could you be jealous knowing what you know, knowing the things I've been through, the different struggles? How in the world could you be jealous? But that's one of the main takeaways from tonight's live stream is it doesn't matter. You might think one thing about your life, but someone else might think something completely different about your life and who you are as a person and how you present and things you could never even imagine about yourself or imagine that someone could be jealous of, they can be. So that's one of the main takeaways. Don't do a self evaluation and say, oh, well, nobody would be jealous of me. You don't know what they're jealous of. Okay. And I'm not laughing. I'm chuckling because it's like they could be jealous of like your toenail polish color. You know what I mean? They could be jealous of the shape of your toenails. And it sounds silly, but I'm being serious. It could be as small as something like that, and it could be as big as your relationship or your job or your car. I consider those kind of bigger things, but it can also be very, 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 very small. They might be jealous of the shape of your hands. I'm not kidding, you guys. Yeah, the chat says a jealous person only sees the upside of your life. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. Chat says we've been told that it's better to travel with people, their safety in numbers. But the crazy thing is she did. She went down there with 6 people who were allegedly her like best friends. The guy recording the fight, well, I can't call it a fight. It was really an attack, was supposed to be her best friend. So it's like, wow, like it's just so sad. It's so hurtful. It's like, who can you trust? Who can you trust, really? Who can you trust? Like, just deviating really quickly, when I reflect on my life and all my different friendships and things like that, like there's things that have gone missing in the past. But because I know that I tend to lose things, I'm like, well, I probably just lost it. But the more, it's like my brain won't let it go. My brain is like, you didn't lose that thing. You didn't lose it. Somebody took it from you, they stole it. And the only people or persons who would have had access to that thing were so called friends. But then I go back and forth like, nah, you probably just lost it. You misplaced it. You accidentally threw it away. You lost it at work. You lost it. But the truth of the matter is, your brain knows you didn't lose that thing. Your brain knows it was taken. So that's just a small example of like, wow, like can something like that translate into something like this? Like, I'll give you a perfect example, then I'll move on. I was at work one day. I wouldn't consider this woman a friend. We sat next to each other. So we kind of got to know each other a little bit or whatever. Detected a little weirdness from her, but she was always relatively polite. We would chit chat. She did her work, I did mine. But she would say things like, obviously, she didn't call me PTE, but she'd be like, PTE, you so fancy. Girl, you so fancy. You so fancy. I'm like, I do the best I can with what I got type situation. Well, one day I was wearing a pair of gold earrings that my mom had given to me, and I loved them, and they were part of the set. She gave me earrings and a necklace, and they all went together. And I bumped my ear somehow. I don't know what I did. I bumped my ear, my earring fell off, right? Now you got to picture the scene. It's like cubicle land. So there ain't that many places for that earring to go. You know what I mean? Bump my ear, my earring falls off. She was standing right next to me. And when I tell you, I never saw that earring again, never. I checked the trash. I took the trash bag out, shook it around, dug through there a little bit. There wasn't that much trash in there because it's like a desk trash can, so there's like paper or whatever. I got down on my hands and knees, looked up under like that tiny little clearance under the cubicle wall. It's like maybe half an inch, maybe an inch. Searched all up under there, searched my chair, searched my purse, searched everything. Never saw that earring again. I know she stole it. There's no question in my mind this woman stole that earring. And for what? Why did you steal my earring? Just to watch me be distressed about it? Or did you go pawn it? You couldn't have got more than what? I don't know how much gold is going for these days, but they didn't weigh that much. I don't even think they weighed an ounce each. So like a fraction of an ounce. But anyway, I digress. The point is little stuff. That's one of the takeaways I'm trying to get you to walk away with. Little things. Jealousy can drive very strange behaviors, even towards little things like, oh, she lost her earring. Let me snatch it up real quick before she sees it. And I'm going to keep it just because I took something from her that she can never get back because I'm never going to give it back. Anyway, I digress. I don't want to fall too far down that rabbit hole because I'm still mad about it because I know my earring. I know she took my earring, man, but why? Anyway, let's continue. So I have covered this topic before in a video called Never Underestimate the Power of Jealousy. And this was published August 2nd, 2016. And I don't remember exactly what I talked about in this video, but I'm pretty sure I had some kind of example to go along with it. So I will link this for you once this live stream is done. I'll link it down in the comment section, okay? But it's called Never Underestimate the Power of Jealousy. So we have covered this topic before. Wow, a lot of y'all's coworkers have been stealing, I see. Says I had a coworker throw away an EKG I ran on a patient. I found it buried in the garbage. It says at work, a coworker took my mechanical pencil and tossed it, but my intern returned it. He made some excuse that he needed it in an emergency and it broke. He didn't say where he put it. Wow. So these coworkers really be out here stealing like that. Unbelievable. Now I don't feel so bad taking my purse everywhere with me. I don't know y'all like that. I don't know you like that. But I know everything that's in this purse, and I know if something goes missing. Highly recommend AirTags. I know some of you are not Apple agnostic, or I think I said that wrong, Apple evangelists. But I would highly recommend an AirTag strategically placed. If you can afford it, and if you see the value in that, highly recommend it. Because these people can't be trusted, man. If someone is jealous of you, they cannot be trusted. They can't. They just can't. Because what I personally believe is jealousy is almost like a possession. It's like it takes them over. And it almost becomes a situation where they're not even in control of it anymore. The jealousy starts to drive them. So like if they were in a car, they would get out and the person that you know who's jealous of you would get in the passenger seat and jealousy would get in the driver's seat. That's what it's like. They can't be trusted. Okay. So I did cover this. I will link that in the comments for you. Now I want to draw your attention to another video that I will link for you down in the comment section once this stream is over. I came across this video probably like a year ago. Again, I've been nursing this idea for a long time, probably over a year at this point. And this video is titled The Difference Between Jealousy and Envy. And I thought that this was very, 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 very interesting. And the way he laid it out and the way he put it was very, very well done. And the summary of this video is jealousy wants it for themselves. Envy doesn't want you to have it. Jealousy wants it for themselves. Envy doesn't want you to have it. They are very similar, but they are different. Okay. So the way I think about it, and I wrote down this note, and I don't know if this came from his video, so it may have, but I might have thought about it myself. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I did not rewatch the video. So if it came from his, I give him full credit for it. It also possibly could have come from me, but it's the difference between a thief and a vandal. So a thief would be like jealousy in that a thief wants it for themselves. They're stealing it so they can have it. A vandal or someone who vandalizes things simply doesn't want you to have it, or they don't want you to enjoy it. They don't really want it for themselves. They don't want you to have it or enjoy it. So basically, jealousy is the thief, envy is a vandal. So, for example, if somebody vandalize, let's say you paint a mural. Well, the thief can't really steal a mural, but just kind of roll with we'll say the mural was on a big tarp or something. The thief is going to try to steal that tarp. They're going to snatch it down, roll it up, and take it home and put it in their house. That's what they're going to do with that mural. The vandal, however, is not going to tear down the mural. The vandal is just going to show up with spray paint and spray paint all over the mural. So you can't enjoy it. You can't enjoy your hard work. And so nobody else can enjoy it either. One wants it for themselves. The other one doesn't want you to have it. Now, when these two blend together, you have a very dangerous person. Someone who wants what you have, but also doesn't want you to have what you have. You see? See, a jealous person, they're both very dangerous, but a jealous person, if they get what they want, they might leave you alone, if that makes sense. They might be okay with you keeping it as long as they can get it too. So you get a certain car, they get jealous, they go out and get the same car. Now they're happy. You get a certain job, they get jealous, they go out and get the same job. Now they're happy. So they don't care that you kept their job or kept your job. They just want it for themselves. But an envious person doesn't want you to have it at all. And combined, it makes a very, very, very dangerous person. And when I think about narcissists, here's how it comes out. Here's how you can kind of know what you're dealing with. You see this when you try to teach the narcissist how to do something that you do or how to get something that you have. And they're really not actually interested. They don't want to put in the work to get what you have or obtain what you have or do what you do. They're not interested. They just don't want you to have it. They don't want the things that you want or the responsibility that comes with them. They just don't want you to have them. So in other words, and this is more envy, but in other words, they're not interested in learning how to fish. They're simply interested in sinking your fishing boat. So you could say, come on out on the boat. I'll show you how to fish. I'll show you how to use the reels and the rods. I'll show you where all the fish are. You can catch all these fish. It'll be great. They're not trying to do all that. They just hate seeing you do it. So they don't want you to have it. That's the difference between jealousy and envy. So it's very interesting. I will link it for you once the live stream has concluded, okay? Now, I have two very, very, very interesting articles to share with you. And the date on these will tell me about how long I've been thinking about this. Oh, okay, so this one came out in 2022, and then this one came out in January 2021. So it has been over a year. It's been a long time I've been nursing this idea. So we'll start with this one, actually. This one came out in Yahoo Life. Actually, it came out in InStyle, published by Yahoo Life. It says Lisa Kudrow said it was jarring to see herself next to Jennifer Aniston and Courtney Cox on Friends. Now, before I read this, I just want to say, I don't think, based on what I read and what I'm getting ready to read to you, I don't think Lisa Kudrow really qualifies as a jealous person per se. The reason I'm sharing this article with you is because I want you to see how she thinks or how she was thinking regarding this situation. And it will kind of give you insight into how the jealous mind works, okay? And again, not calling her jealous. Don't really know enough about her to make that call. It's her mindset and the way her mind was working and thinking regarding this topic that I want to point out to you. So this was published August 6, 2022. Lisa Kudrow said it was jarring to see herself next to Jennifer Aniston and Courtney Cox on Friends. It says, excuse me, hold on a second. Let me clear my throat. It says, like her on-screen character, Phoebe Buffay, Lisa Kudrow exuded confidence as a budding actress in Hollywood. That is, until she landed her breakout role on Friends. This week, Kudrow spoke about feeling insecure about her body while filming the beloved sitcom alongside her real-life besties, Jennifer Aniston and Courtney Cox, during an episode of the Pod Crushed podcast. I was confident, Lisa explained, adding that she didn't deal with body issues until she watched the show back. It wasn't until Friends that I realized, oh, I don't look like I thought I looked, she said. And that's what was so jarring. And that's when it was like, oh, I've actually got to lose weight. I have to diet? Shoot. Kudrow went on to say that she always thought of herself as really skinny until seeing herself in clothes and seeing Courtney and Jennifer in clothes. At first, I thought, oh, because they know like tailoring, so they can discuss it with the costume designer about where exactly to take something in. She continued, revealing that Aniston and Cox later joined her on fittings. That's when I would see, oh, okay, it's not just about tailoring, you know? I'm not trying to say I was overweight either. I just had no idea the shape of my actual body. Realizing it was wrong to compare herself to others, Kudrow said she began her journey of self acceptance by her late 30s or 40s. She concluded, I just realized, oh no, it's okay. This is just what I look like. That's okay. Do what you need to do to be healthy, but this is your body and it's okay. All right. So, again, really the part that I wanted to call out to you is this part here where she says, Kudrow went on to say that she always thought of herself as really skinny until seeing herself in clothes and seeing Courtney and Jennifer in clothes. And little moments like that, that's the moment that it switches on and off, really switches on. She was perfectly fine. She was going about her life totally normal. And then one day she noticed herself in comparison to these two other people. And even though this article is giving it a very light treatment, I guarantee you she fell down some deep, dark rabbit hole regarding this particular issue. I guarantee it. I would bet that she probably had to go to some sort of therapy, work it out. And I'm not knocking therapy. Go to therapy if you need to. That it's there for a reason. Use it. We still have a relationship with BetterHelp, by the way. BetterHelp, code PTE, you can get 10% off. All right. BetterHelp.com/PTE. But it's like these little moments is what can cause a person to suddenly become consumed and jealous of you and everything that you got going on. Now, I don't know if they're still friends to this day. I don't know if they're friends at all. Like, I don't know if they keep in contact. I don't know any of those things. And I mean, looking at her, she looks fine to me. But again, that's my assessment. She can assess how she feels about herself. But I never would have thought of her as strange looking or she doesn't look overweight. She's a little taller than them, but don't all women want to be tall? I don't know. Maybe some don't. I don't know. But again, it's not about my opinion of her or anyone else's. It's about what she's thinking about herself in comparison to Courtney and Jennifer. So this is what's happening to a lot of people who you encounter. And there's a sudden shift and you say to yourself, what happened? What happened? Like everything was fine. Everything was cool. We were getting along great. Everything was going well. And then it was like night and day. Something shifted with this person. What happened? What did I do? What did I say? Tell me so we can fix it. You're never going to get an answer because the actual answer would horrify you and them. Them having to actually say it out loud and confess what the problem really is, they know it would make them look like a terrible person and it would scare the hell out of you, as it should. So, for example, the way that this sometimes plays out, let's say that there are three friends. They're not actresses, they're just regular people. But Lisa Kudrow still feels the same way. Or maybe she doesn't necessarily feel that way about body, but let's say they go out one night and let's just assume they're all single. And some very handsome man starts hitting on Courtney Cox or starts hitting on Jennifer Aniston and not Lisa. It can switch on just like that. And then the rest of the night, she's in a mood. She's acting funny, acting weird, suddenly ready to go for no obvious reasons, was having a great time. This guy comes over and talks to Courtney, and now she's in a mood. She's moody. She's snappy. She's short. And you're like, what's wrong with you? Are you okay? What happened? And she could never tell you. It's because that guy came up and talked to you and not me. Most people would never say that out of their mouth. They would never actually confess that with their mouth. Never. Never. You know? And that's the simple stuff. What about when it's things like your dress is fitting you so good tonight and you just look really good and I don't feel like I look that good? It happened, you guys. Wow, your hair looks really great tonight and mine looks ratty. Boom, on just like that. And that's kind of the scary thing about jealousy. It's not always steady. It's not something. Now, I do believe once it turns on, it becomes steady, but like it becomes a fixation basically once the switch flips on. But prior to that switch flipping on, you're probably having a great time with this person and you don't know what happened, but they do. But they can never actually tell you what the problem is. They can never tell you because they know it would make them look shallow, vain, jealous, petty. They know it would make them look like all of those things. So they'll never tell you, or if they ever do give you an answer, it's going to be something completely unrelated to the real reason. So again, I'm just using Lisa as an example and her confession that she felt fine about herself until she stood next to Courtney Cox and Jennifer Aniston. And now suddenly she's having body image issues. So it's kind of sad because it's like, I think it's so sad to compare yourself to another person for reasons neither one of you have control over. Like some things we have control over. Like if your friend is super physically fit and you're not, well, you could actually reach that level of fitness. Like if you work on it, you could get there. That's what they did. You could get there too. But other things are outside of our control, like what you actually look like. Yes, we can enhance it with makeup and things like that, lashes, all that. We can enhance our looks, but what you look like is what you look like. Hold, please. Okay, I'm back. Hold on. Sorry, I'm on mommy duty. I'm making my dog's food. So, and she just looked at me like, I know you're not gonna not give me my food after I can smell it cooking. So I'm just gonna keep talking while I'm cutting up her food. So there's a lot of things that we have absolutely no control over. And I think it's tragically sad when people don't accept themselves for who they are. And they don't accept, I know everyone doesn't believe in God, but when they don't accept their God given design or their God given features or the body that they were born into. And I know it's hard. Like, trust me. Trust me. I know it's hard to accept, you know, what's essentially fixed. There's a lot of things in this life that are essentially fixed. For example, height. Now, women have a little bit of an advantage. We can throw on heels and make ourselves a little taller, but I can put on 6-inch heels and I'm still not going to scratch 6 feet. I'm just not. Like, it's just not going to happen in this lifetime. I think they're working on different surgeries and things like that where you can get your bones lengthened. I'm not going through all that. I accept my stature for what it is, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? When I want to be a little taller, I'll throw on some heels, but I accept it. But there are some people who literally are so uncomfortable in their own bodies. And it's sad because it's like, honey, unless you're going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars altering that body, that's the body you got. You have to find a way to love it. You have to. You have to find a way to embrace yourself. And again, I know that's not easy, especially in our culture of filters and Photoshop and Instagram, everything, and everyone is a supermodel now, right? I know that that's not easy. I know it's not. Hold 1 second. Let me give her her food. Where you at? All right. Good girl. There you go. Eat it. All right. I'm alive. So here you go. Great. All right. Eat. Okay. All right. I'm back and I'm re engaged now. I've fed my puppy child. Okay. So there's that story. Again, illustrating the inner workings of the mind of someone who can become jealous, what made them jealous. Again, if you recall at the top part of the article, she said she never had body image issues until she saw herself in clothes. And then she saw herself in clothes next to Jennifer and Courtney. And then that's kind of what like triggered it, basically. So there's that. But now I want to move on to another one that I think illustrates this even more, you guys. And this one, I almost did a completely separate show on, but I think it fits in very well here also. And the quick high level summary is a supermodel was reflecting on her career as a supermodel and kind of how she went through like a self image and self worth crisis, which a lot of them do. A lot of them have a lot of body image issues. And obviously, when you are basically in a bikini and you're like size 0 and someone's pinching your belly fat saying you need to lose 5 pounds. And it's like, but I'm like a size 0. And they're like, well, you need to be double 0. Yeah, that would develop some complexes, I would imagine, over time. But when you hear the way that she thought about this woman, it should really, really, it disturbed me when I read it. It disturbed me because it showed me for the first time how when a person has become jealous of you, it does not matter what they have or who they are, when they have become fixated on something about you. Okay. So this article is a little longer, but let's read it. It says Paulina Poriskova says her marriage to late husband Rick Okasek made her feel like an invisible, dried up old husk as she recalls the first time she became aware of racism in the fashion industry. So this is deep. It gets really deep. Let's read it. It says, Paulina Poriskova has revealed that years of marriage to her late husband, Rick Okasek, left her feeling like an invisible, dried up old husk while opening up racism in the fashion industry. The Sports Illustrated swimsuit star, 55, paid tribute to fellow model Karen Alexander, 54, on Instagram Tuesday, sharing a photo of them posing together during a shoot for Avon in 2015. So Paulina is on the right and Karen is on the left. It says, the last time we worked together was for this Avon ad. Karen had just given birth to a beautiful little girl. She was nursing and leaking and feeling self-conscious about her weight, when in fact she was at the height of her beauty. Okay? Pay attention. So Karen had just had a baby and, she was nursing and her boobs were leaking and she was feeling self-conscious about her weight. So imagine the thoughts she's having in her head. And Paulina, the lady on the right, said when in fact she was at the height of her beauty. Do you understand? Oh, there's more. It goes deeper. Okay. But like just straight out the gate, do you understand what I'm trying to illustrate to you here? This woman on the left, they're both supermodels, by the way, just had a baby. She's feeling self-conscious, wondering if she's going to lose the baby weight. Her boobs are doing weird things to nurse life and bring life into the world. And the woman on the right is looking at her going, you're absolutely gorgeous. You're at the height of your beauty. Do you understand? Let's keep going. All right. So this is Paulina and her husband, honey child. Let's move on. It says, Paulina admitted she was jealous of Karen, even though she had a far more difficult time in the industry as a Black woman. Man, I should have done a separate show on this. This show should have been separate. And it still might. I still might pull this in somewhere separately. But it says, Paulina admitted that she was jealous of Karen, even though she had a far more difficult time in the industry as a Black woman. So remember when I was setting this up, I said it doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you have more opportunities in the modeling industry. You're more well, at the time, she was more bookable, probably made more money. None of that mattered to her. All that matters is that she's looking at this woman who they're only 1 year apart, thinking about her. You are at the height of your beauty. Here you are feeling probably the lowest you felt in a long time, when in fact you're at the height of your beauty, and I'm jealous of you. Do you understand how deep it goes? It says, I was already in the part of my marriage where I felt invisible, a dried up old husk. And here was Karen, same age and positively glowing, content and radiant, someone to envy, Paulina explained. A lot of times they will confess, honey, people who are jealous of you, a lot of times will flat out confess it. They will tell you so. I've had a girl tell me that to my face. I had just started a new job and we were getting to know each other. And this is over Zoom. And she just starts asking, she was like, well, do you have kids? I was like, no. She was like, and you're not married? I was like, no. And she was like, so you just got free time and you don't have children or a husband to run around after? I'm jealous of you. Like she said it very matter of factly. She wasn't joking. She didn't chuckle. She didn't crack a smile, like, girl, I'm so jealous of you. Ha, 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 ha. Sometimes they will say it in jest. She just took in the whole picture and goes, I'm jealous of you. And I caught pure hell at that job from that moment forward, honey, because now I was on her shit list. Whereas before we were doing fine. I feel like if I had told her, yes, I'm married and I have 3 kids, she either wouldn't have been jealous at all, or she wouldn't have been as jealous. But she saw me as a free bird, a free agent. And it just hit her so hard that it just came right out of her mouth. She spat it out. I'm jealous of you. And not to make this a racial thing, I'm going to finish up this article here in a second, but I know a lot of Black women may not realize or understand or believe that occasionally white women can be jealous of you. And you would say, oh, come on, PTE. She's got the house. She's got the job, the husband who's the VP of the CEO, of the CFO, of the COO. They got money, privilege. They travel the world. There's no way she could be jealous of me. And it could simply come down to the fact that y'all are the same age and you're radiant and glowing and at the height of your beauty. It could come down to that sometimes, you guys. And believe it or not, a lot of them are jealous of our hair. And I'm not trying to alienate my white listeners and viewers right now. I'm really not. I'm just having a very, very real moment right now. And you would say, my hair? You kidding? You know how much difficulty this hair gives me. Do you know how much hell this hair puts me through? But they don't see it like that. Not all of them. Some of them look at your hair and admire the body and the volume. I cannot even begin to explain it to you guys. I cannot begin to adequately put it into words. And you think it's a joke, but I cannot tell you how many times a white woman has said to me, I'm jealous regarding my hair. Cannot tell you how many times. And I've always, always, always kind of laughed it off and written it off and told her the truth, which is this hair is a pain in the ass. It's a full-time job. And I basically am telling them, don't be like, don't be. I know you might feel a little jealousy right now because there's some volume sitting up on this head. Please don't be, girl. This hair kicks my ass weekly. Weekly, it kicks my ass. She don't care. It takes me anywhere between 4 to 6 hours a week to do my hair. A week, not a month, not bi-weekly, a week. If I want to keep it looking decent, if I want it to go to hell quickly, I just stop washing it every week, and it would get tangled up, matted up, start breaking off, dry. Can we talk about the dryness? Instantly, almost as if I'd never done it a day in my life. That's how my hair pays me back and rewards me. I'm very diligent with my hair. If I take 1 week off, it acts like I've never done it at all. So I say that, and I tell them that to kind of lighten the mood and kind of loosen the conversation up a little bit, because I know she's telling me the truth. I know she really is. And I'm like, girl, listen, you better be grateful you can get in that shower and wash your hair in the morning and go. Do you even understand? You should all be rich. If I had that kind of free time on my hands, do you know what I could accomplish in this life? But I digress. This is why I was going to make this a separate video. And again, I am not trying to alienate my white listeners and viewers, because I know I have a lot of Caucasian and white listeners and viewers. I'm just telling you what has happened to me over and over and over again. I could count it on both hands how many times I've sat, like I'm running it through my head right now, where literally they'll be looking at it and say, I'm jealous. And it's like, wow, because people don't care about the struggle that goes along with what you have. They just see what you have. They see the end result, but it's really about the volume. It's the volume that they want. They want that body. Anyway, separate show, different topic. Not trying to alienate anyone. I'm just telling you the truth. And this article is kind of regarding a Black woman and a white woman, so I brought it up. Anyway, let me back up a little bit. Paula admitted she was jealous of Karen, even though she had a far more difficult time in the industry as a Black woman. I was already in the part of my marriage where I felt invisible, a dried up old husk, and here was Karen, same age and positively glowing, content and radiant, someone to envy, Paulina explained. And here I was, envious of a woman who, although the supermodel of her time, with covers too numerous to name, had, because of her skin color, in no ways the same opportunities as myself. Like this right here, to me, is just so fascinating and so profound and so deep. I remember when I read this article, when it first came out, because it's such a soul confession. It's like, here I am. Basically, I'm a high-paid, skinny, Caucasian supermodel, and I'm sitting here jealous of this woman, a Black supermodel who has far fewer opportunities than I do, but I am jealous of her because she found her to be so beautiful. She said that she was at the height of her beauty. So I bring this out to show you how complex it can be. That's why the title of the stream is The Complex Nature of Jealousy. It's complex, you guys. And because I suffer from the same thing this woman does, but in reverse, I'm kind of like, there's no way you could be jealous of me. Do you have time? I could sit and give you my life story. You wouldn't be jealous anymore. And I think what I'm coming to learn is I could give them that life story and the jealousy would remain. It's not about that. It's not about baffled, right? It's not about that at all. This woman basically just said, I had all the privilege in the world and I was still jealous of this supermodel, this Black supermodel, because of looks. Like, it's scary, you guys. Like, it's frightening because what could Karen do? Let's scroll back up really quick. We have one more sentence to read. But what can Karen really do? Karen couldn't do nothing. Karen is who she is. Paulina is who she is. They're both beautiful women. But Karen was sitting here, just had a baby, feeling very self conscious about her body, her looks, probably her ability to stay in the industry. And the woman to her right was simply looking at her, thinking, probably thinking, you're one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen. And she's like, are you kidding? Look at this baby belly. Look at my boobs. They're engorged. Look at my hips. They're at least 2 inches wider. I'm never going to book a high fashion show again. Blah, 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 blah. And Paulina's just like, you're stunning. Stunning. So, but this is how jealousy works. And she flat out confessed to it. It says Paulina admitted that she was jealous of Karen. And she said she was content and radiant, someone to envy. So she got both jealousy and envy in the same bucket. Both. So let's finish this article. It says Paulina recalled being on set with Karen for the commercial when she learned she was making far more money than her friend who was doing the same amount of work. So we got a little bit of racial inequity and discrepancy here. And in spite of that, she was still jealous. Let's see here. How much? Blah. Okay. All right. I do need to read this part because this kind of speaks to when I was explaining how sometimes it's not even something that you would think that it is that someone can be jealous about. So let me read through this whole entire thing. It says, as we sat in our makeup chairs, I discovered I was the only model to be booked for the commercial, which was a significantly larger amount of money. This sort of racism in the business was something Karen was well acquainted with, but it dawned on me for the first time, she admitted. Talk about white privilege. I never even thought to think of it. Wait, I never even thought, to think of it. Paulina said she later learned on Instagram that Karen was diagnosed with dermatomyositis, a rare autoimmune condition that causes skin changes and muscle weakness. She said, yeah, I had never heard of it either, but it has made her incredibly sick, she explained. Now here it is right here, pay attention. Despite the personal hell she's going through, she is still managing to be compassionate and loving and empathetic to people around her, people who have it way easier than herself. So remember when I told you, there's not a lot you can do to control someone else's jealousy because you don't even really know what it's about. So Karen just got diagnosed with a skin condition, a rare autoimmune condition. And all Paulina can focus on is how, in spite of her going through this great struggle, this health struggle, she is still compassionate and loving and empathetic to people around her. Do you see what I'm saying, you guys? Like, again, I've used the term scary, and I kind of mean it. It's kind of scary because it's like you would think to yourself, okay, well, let me not do anything that would set off someone's jealousy. So let me not really, I mean, I know some people don't care, but some people would be like, let me not really dress up, not really going to do a whole lot of makeup, just super basic face, you know. I just went on a vacation, but I'm not going to tell anyone. I won't even post about it on Instagram. I'll be very quiet and kind of hush hush about the things I think might make people jealous. And you're sitting here hiding all this stuff, thinking you're helping control other people's jealousy, when in reality, they're sitting across from you going, wow, she just went through pure hell. And she's still just as nice and sweet and kind and compassionate and loving and radiant and content and at the height of her beauty. And I'm not laughing, okay? I think I'm laughing at how sick it is. Yes, the chat says we purposely try to dim our light. thinking it may help. I'm laughing at how sick it is because it's sad and it's kind of scary because it's like you're thinking about your bills and different family issues and struggles and your various worries. And in your mind, you're like, nobody would envy my life. Nobody would trade places with me for sure. When the person sitting across from you, you think they can see all that. And all they can see is that compassion, that love, that empathy, that kindness, in spite of what you've been through. So basically, her resilience and her ability to bounce back and her ability to still smile in spite of what she's been through. That's what she's jealous of. Do you get it? Do you get it? Do you get it? This is how easily it can be triggered. Okay? Let's keep going. Let's see what else there is. I mean, she's gushing. It says, if I were a religious person, I'd call her the perfect example of the goodness religion tried to stand for. Not a saint, mind you. She's way more fun than that. And then let's see here. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I think that's about it regarding the her talking about Karen. This kind of goes into her like Paulina's personal life. Yeah, I think that was pretty much it. Let me see. Okay. I will link this article for you guys if you're interested in reading more, because we're not going to read the rest of this. It was that first half that I really, really wanted to share with you. Okay. Man, this is a long article. Okay. Yeah. All right. So it was the first half of this article that I wanted to share with you. All right. Going back up to the top. And I just want to pause on this picture here. It was this part of the article that I really wanted to kind of bring out and highlight how, and do I think Pauline is an evil, jealous person? No, I think she's being very open and just being very truthful about the feelings that she was feeling. And I'm grateful that she did, because it really gave us insight into the mind of a person who experiences and feels jealousy towards another person. Because again, here's Karen, just had a baby, feeling insecure and self-conscious. Paulina said she was at the height of her beauty. Do you realize what a compliment that is? I mean, some people might not view it as a compliment, but it really is a compliment. You were at the height of your beauty. In other words, you'll never get more beautiful than this. Like you can't be more beautiful than this. Like you've reached the top of the beauty food chain while you're sitting over there feeling insecure. And then a little bit later on, Karen goes on to be diagnosed with this rare autoimmune disorder and probably feeling super self-conscious about that, being a model. And all Paulina can focus on is how compassionate she is and kind and caring and empathetic she is to others, in spite of what she's going through and in spite of what she's been through. So that's how simple it can be. And that's also how you can't hide it. Because keep in mind, Paulina was making more money than her. Paulina was getting booked more than her. She had more opportunities than her. And she even said getting paid more for doing the exact same work. So just blatant discrimination and racism built into the industry. And in spite of all these advantages, she still found herself jealous and envious of her good friend Karen because of her personality traits, because she was radiant and glowing and happy in spite of what she's been through. That's what I mean when I tell you, you cannot control what they're jealous over. And you also probably have no idea what it's about. No idea. Okay. So I wanted to share that with you guys. And I think I'll actually just go ahead and drop the article link now for you, but I will still link them in the chat after the show is over. So that's really a lesson for me too. Because half the time I don't get it. I'm like, girl or boy, whoa, baby, there's nothing like when a man is jealous of you. Now that's weird and probably not as rare as I think it is. It's probably more common than I want to give it credit for. But I want to say, girl or boy, you wouldn't trade places with me. You don't have the guts. You ain't built for this. Okay. And I don't mean that in a braggadocious way, because, honey, I'm barely built for this. Okay. I'm barely built for this life. So I know you would blow away in the wind. You don't want this. Okay. But it's not about that. It could be about something you have no clue what's causing it, what's triggering it. And you probably can't, even if you stop doing it, if you can stop doing it, it probably wouldn't cause the jealous feeling to go away. And to take it religious very, very briefly, even though everyone is not religious, who they're really mad at is God. Or if you're more of a scientific person, who you're really mad at is Mother Nature. That's who you're mad at. That's where your anger truly should be directed, because it's God, or if you're scientific, Mother Nature, who gave this person these things just like they gave you your things. We didn't design ourselves, as far as I know. So you're literally mad at God, like you're mad at biology. You see what I mean? Which, when you really stop and think about it, the rational mind would eventually come to the conclusion, well, it's not her fault she's beautiful. It's not her fault. It's not her fault she's compassionate or empathetic. That's just how she is. That's where the rational mind ends up. And then you appreciate that person for who they are. And then hopefully that leads to a level of self acceptance as well. Like, this is who I am, and that's okay. And this is who you are, and that's okay. That's a healthy friendship. I see you. I acknowledge you for all that you are. You see me. You acknowledge me for all that I am. And we appreciate what's great about each other. And we love each other from there. That's a healthy friendship. But so many people are so insecure, y'all. Man, that needs to be a separate show. So many people are so insecure, and it's so sad, because at the root of insecurity, I believe, is a person who believes other people are greater than them, and they don't understand their own greatness, and they don't understand that they have their own unique greatness that is equal to other people. Now, have other people accomplished a few more things? Sure. Have other people made a little bit more money here and there? Sure. But their inherent goodness and greatness is equal to yours. But they don't see it that way. They see the other person as entirely and wholly better than them, greater than them, all of that. And it just makes them feel so small inside. And some people just kind of shrink into that smallness, but other people turn into demons because of that small feeling. You're either going to shrink away and become smaller, or you're going to turn into an absolute demon as an end result of that insecurity. It is so, 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 so sad. Exactly. It says Cain was so jealous of his brother Abel, he murdered him. Exactly. Chat says, oh, yes, men jealous of your talent. Yes, I actually might do an entirely separate show on male jealousy towards women as part of the Sick and Dangerous Men series, which I have not forgotten about. Just been a busy year. But I think my next installment of that series is jealousy, because I need women to understand that men can be jealous of them and often are jealous of them. And it typically centers around the benefits and the privileges that they believe women have. But we'll get there. We'll cross that bridge another day. Okay? They think it's easy. They think it is so easy to be a woman. They think it's easy. They think our lives are cakewalks. They literally think that we walk outside and people just start doing things for us and giving us things. I've only had my groceries paid for one time. Okay. Just once. And it was a good day. It was a great day. I was very excited about that. Y'all should do that more often, by the way, fellas. Gentlemen, y'all say women are mean to you. We're not nice. We don't talk to you. Why don't you pay for our groceries and just see how it goes? Just try it, like $30, $50. $50 a week. Go pay for some random woman's groceries who appears single. Go pay for her groceries. I guarantee you'll have good results. She may decline, and if she declines, let her decline. If she says, "Oh no, thank you," I appreciate that, because she might have a husband at home, boyfriend or something. Just because she looks single doesn't mean she is. Who knows her reasons for declining, right? But if she declines, let her. But I guarantee you, more often than not, she's going to take you up on her offer. And then it's on you not to be a creep afterwards. So you don't lurk in the parking lot, you know, just write your number down on a piece of paper or hand her a business card. Say, "I found you very attractive. I'd like to pay for your groceries. And if you're interested, give me a call." Guarantee you'll have good results. Guarantee. Don't don't lurk in the parking lot. Don't follow her out of the parking lot, okay? Don't do that. As a matter of fact, you should just leave. Like, after you pay for them, hand her your card, say, "I found you very attractive. If you're single and you're interested, please give me a call. If not, enjoy your groceries. Have a nice day." Now, may you have just lost $50? Yeah, probably. But listen, life is a gamble, isn't it? Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. I said $50 a week, not $50 a day. Okay? Give it a shot. I guarantee you're going to have good results. Because when that happened to me, he paid for my groceries, gave me his number. I gave him a call. Now, oddly enough, he never called back. Weird. Oh, well, thanks for the groceries. Thank you, sir. And thank you, Shannon. Is that Mustafa? Thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate you. Thank you for your support of the channel. Right. Don't peek through the bushes. Thank you, Shannon. I appreciate it. Don't peek through the bushes. Absolutely. It's called an investment. Okay? Give it a shot, y'all. I'm telling you, try it. Try it. Go to the grocery store. You see a woman, if she appears single, meaning no ring, doesn't really look like she's like buying for kids, or even if she is, you may not mind if she has kids. That's fine. But just walk up to the cashier and say, "May I pay for your groceries?" If she says yes, pay for her groceries. Now you need to be ready now to slide her your phone number, preferably with a business card. That's so much more classy. It looks like you have your shit together. But there's nothing wrong with jotting it down on a piece of paper. People have been doing that for years. But you need to be ready already with that, though. Pay for the groceries. Say, "I found you very attractive. If you're interested, give me a call. I'd love to have a conversation with you." Then dip. You got to go. Take off. Take off. She needs to see your backside at that point. Walk away. Walk strong. Walk confident. Walk tall. Like you just did that. Do you understand? Get in your car. Take off. Leave. Don't hang outside the grocery store. Go. Okay? Put the option in her hands. Now she has a very positive impression of you. You paid for her groceries. You don't even know her. You gave her the option of the interaction. Meaning, if she chooses not to, that's fine, because you can't stalk her because you don't have her number. I'm telling you, you're going to have great results. Hit me up. Hit me up when you do. I want to know all about it, okay? Tell me your success story with that strategy and that method, okay? Right. And don't force her to call you on the spot to save the number. We do not like that. Ladies don't like that. We don't like that. We really don't. Give us your number. Let us do it. And know your fear is, well, she'll probably never call me. You don't know that. I called the guy who paid for my groceries. He never called back. Oh, well, thanks for the groceries. That was nice. That was a good day. That made me very happy inside. Okay. Let's wrap the show up, okay? I want to report too. I need y'all to report back to me and tell me how that worked out for you. I guarantee you'll be married by the end of next year, okay? She's going to love it. Let's talk through how to keep ourselves safe, knowing what we know, knowing that jealousy is unpredictable, knowing that it's insidious. I saw someone use that word earlier in the chat. Knowing that it can flip on suddenly and for reasons you're not even aware of. Okay. Knowing that it can be for reasons you're not aware of. And knowing jealousy can have some really dangerous consequences sometimes if you keep a jealous person around you or in your circle too long. So, how do we keep ourselves safe through all that? I have a couple of suggestions. Some you've already heard, you probably already heard all of them, but we're just going to run down them really quick. So, hone your discernment, or I guess the better word would be honor your discernment. Honor it. Okay. I pulled up a picture. I'm going to pull it up here and share my screen again really quick. So, quite a few of you are familiar with my cabin in the woods story. So, I'm not going to rehash it play by play, but I'll give a high level summary for anyone who's new. Basically, I had just started a new job, like literally like a month prior to this, had started the job. So I was brand new, new to the team. They decided to have a team building activity and what they call an off site, meaning we're going off the site of the workplace somewhere else so we can build the team. Hooray. They decided to have a team building activity in a cabin in the woods in the North Georgia mountains. Okay. So I already wasn't with it from minute one, day one, when I heard about it, because it wasn't just driving out there and coming back home. They wanted us to spend the night. Okay. And I wasn't interested. I had just gotten my second cat. So she was still very much a kitten when this happened. And I wanted to be home with her and her sister. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I did. She was so cute and a little baby, and I wanted to be there with her, and she was a baby and she needed me. Okay. Anyway, but that wasn't the only reason I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go out to a cabin in the woods with a bunch of people I just met in the North Georgia mountains. Okay. I just didn't. And for the longest, I felt really bad about that. I was like, PTE, you need to open up and you you need to let people in and into your life, and you need to be social, and you can't be acting like this, girl. You can't do this. You have to go to the cabin, sit around the bonfire, enjoy yourself. Like, you have to do these things if you want to have a successful career, because careers are no longer about your actual skill set. Careers now are all about your social skills, how well you blend in with the culture and the team. And if people like you, or it's politics, basically. It's political now. They don't give a damn about your actual work output. They really don't. It's all about, are you with the team? Are you with us? Are you meshed with us? Are you merged with us? Are you one with us? That's all they care about, y'all. I'm telling you, that's all they care about. They could care less about your actual job performance. Okay. It's 100% political. So knowing this, I'm like, you got to do better, girl. Just suck it up. Go. It's a new job. Just do it. Boom. Right. So I pulled up this picture because I wanted y'all to get an idea of where we were. And as I was scrolling through these cabins, I was like, one of these looks like the cabin we went to. And I think it's either this one right here that you're looking at in the middle of your screen, the reddish one, or it was this one. And part of me feels like it was actually this one because I recognized this driveway and I recognized the stairs and the porch and everything, but I don't recognize this little garage. I don't remember a garage being there, but it doesn't matter because if you look at the surroundings, do you see all these trees? These are the mountains, y'all. It took us, I think, 20 minutes to get up to the cabin. 20 minutes to get up there. Pitch black, super sketch, like looked like we were driving through the past, if that makes sense. Driving by old broken down lean-to type cabins that have long since become decrepit and fallen apart. Drove by a couple of Confederate flags. I said, I need to get the hell up out of here. And it was very steep. So we were literally driving up a mountain with two big drop offs on both sides. And I was like, girl, you got to get the hell out of here. Okay. So, why am I telling you the story? I'm telling you the story to let you know that I did go, did the thing. We did the lunch, then we went and made pottery, then we drove up to the cabin, went, was there, involved. I was on the scene. I was doing it. But my spirit was freaking out. And my spirit was like, you have to go. You got to leave. And it doesn't matter if it costs you your job. It doesn't matter if you lose political points. If they don't like you after this, if they tell you you're not a team, you got to go. Because these pictures are taken during the day. At night, it was pitch black and completely silent, you guys. And I think it was that silence that freaked me the F out, because you could hear a pin drop, which meant if something was walking off in the distance, which is probably just an animal like a squirrel or raccoon, I didn't want to find out, honey. They have bears out there, cougars, all kinds of stuff. But you could hear it though. So you would be outside and all of a sudden you'd hear like a crunch off in the distance. I'm like, I gotta go. I'm sorry. Oh, I gotta go. Also, because I knew I wasn't going to sleep, because we had to share rooms also. Did I mention that? We had to share rooms. So it was like 5 people per room. And I wasn't with that either. I'm an adult. I'm a grown woman. Yeah, they made us make pottery. Yes. You see what I've been subject to? You see what I've been subjected to in my life? It was kind of fun though. Making pottery was kind of fun. I just didn't want to make pottery like 2 hours away from my house, like in the middle of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, can we make pottery down at Midtown? You know what I mean? But it was kind of fun. And funny enough, one of my pottery pieces mysteriously got this big black like streak of paint in the middle of it. That's a whole different story. I don't want to take you down that rabbit hole. Long story short, I think my project was sabotaged, but the people at the pottery place saw it and they actually took the time to like fix it for me. So they like buffed it out and then like repainted that part white. So they fixed it. But back to that jealousy thing. Man, where is that little thing? Oh, it's upstairs. I was going to get it, take a picture of it and show y'all. It's so cute. The little pottery piece I made. It's so freaking cute. I'll get a picture and I'll take a picture and I'll show y'all. I'll just post it maybe on the community tab or something. But it was so freaking cute. And as we're filing out, because I was one of the first people to finish, so I kind of just walked outside to get some fresh air. Someone came and got me to say, oh no, that's not what I found out. I didn't find out, because here's what they had to do. All right, I guess we're going down this rabbit hole. They had to cook them, basically. They had to put them in the, what is it, kiln, KILN. So we couldn't take them with us that day. We had to leave them behind. So I was one of the first people done. I put mine in the box, walked outside, got some fresh air, whatever. Didn't think about it again because I knew I wasn't going to see it for like a week. So then like a week later, we're back in the office. Everyone is getting their pottery pieces that they made. And I'm like, where's mine? And they said, oh, something happened to yours. And I was like, oh, like I was devastated, y'all. Devastated. I was like, no. They're like, oh, no. It didn't break. It didn't break or anything, but somehow it got black paint on it. So they had to buff the paint out, paint back over that area white, because that part that got black paint on it was white. Then they had to put it in the kiln. So yours is coming. So mine came like 3 days after everyone else got theirs. I'm like, wow, how mysterious. A mysterious black paint smudge ends up on my pottery piece. Interesting. Very interesting. But the people fixed it for me, thank God, which made me so happy. And you can't even tell that anything was wrong. But the fact that it got damaged, like really, y'all are so effing petty, man. Over pottery? Do you see what I'm saying? Actually, that story really fits into the theme of tonight's show. Like I didn't even want to be there. I'm like, if y'all even knew how much I don't even want to be here right now, but here we are. I'm going to make my little pottery piece and I'm going to have fun and I'm going to play with the paints and, decorate my little pottery and make it super cute. Oh, it's super cute. Yay. Hooray. All right, I'm going to put it in the box and I'm going to walk out, not thinking anything would happen to it. Then a week later, they said, oh, something happened to yours. What? What happened to it? Oh, it got a black paint smudge on it, but don't worry, they fixed it. I want to say, y'all some low lives, okay? You're low lives. I know one of y'all did it. I know it. I would put all my money on somebody just could not stand my cute little pottery piece. And they just casually, accidentally drug their black paintbrush over it. Like, oops, thinking that the people couldn't fix it, but they did. So God bless the people who fixed my little pottery piece, because I still have it to this day. Yeah, jealousy is usually based in pettiness. Um, but I got way off track. Apologies for that, but I just want to tell y'all that story. But my point in showing you this picture of this cabin, honey, out in the middle of the Georgia mountains, is that in spite of everything, I left. I left. And I knew it would be not detrimental. That's kind of dramatic, but I knew it wouldn't look good. But my spirit was literally screaming at me to leave. And everything was fine. And I came back the next day because basically we spent the whole day together that day. We were supposed to all spend the night at the cabin. Then the next morning and day, we were going to have our big offsite meeting where we're strategizing and planning for the year and, really getting knee deep in all the details. So I came back, I was on time, literally drove 2 hours. So I left, drove 2 hours home, got home around midnight, stayed home all night, left again around, I think I left around 6 to get there by 8. Yeah, that was a lot of driving, a lot of gas. But honey, you have to understand, I didn't care. It'll be one thing if I left and didn't come back. Like, nah, I'll see y'all when y'all get back to the city. But I actually came back. I drove back, took my car. So that's very important. Big takeaway. What can we do to protect ourselves? Always drive yourself if you can. Take your own car. If you're out of town, rent a car and keep it with you. Serious. I'm being so serious because other people caught a ride up there, so they couldn't leave if they wanted to, because no Uber was going to come out there. So, but I keep my car with me, honey, always. And I took that car home and then brought it back the next day. So exercise your discernment. If your spirit is screaming at you, it doesn't matter how bad it's going to look, how much social damage you think it's going to cause. If you don't feel safe, if you feel uncomfortable, if things just feel weird, get out. Get out, get out, get out. Because even though nothing happened, everyone was safe. Everyone made it home safely. You know what I mean? And I think I even worked at that job like another year. So I didn't even really like get in trouble in terms of like losing my job or anything. I worked for about one more year for that company. Everything was fine. But as someone, the first time I brought the story up, someone said, if you had stayed, things might not have been fine. And that's the point. Like, these are the same people who just damaged my pottery because they're what, jealous? Because it came out cute and you're mad. So you damage my pottery on purpose. So, but I didn't know that at the time. Keep in mind, I didn't know that day. I didn't find that out till like a week later. But imagine if I had stayed in this cabin in the woods with the same people who were so outraged and jealous over my pottery creation that they chose to damage it. You see what I'm saying? So what else would you do? Would you lock me out of the cabin as a joke? Turn off all the lights, lock all the doors, and leave me standing out in the cold, pitch black darkness in the North Georgia mountains? What else would you do? Would you let me fall asleep and then find something to put on me? Like a bug, a critter, put it in my hair? Ha ha ha, so funny. Would you do something like that? What else would you do? I didn't have time to find out. I wasn't interested in finding out, so I left. And I highly encourage you to do the same if you're feeling unsafe. If you're out there and you're loving it, stop, kitty cat. Mama's live. Let me do my show. If you're out there and you're loving it, honey, and you're having the time of your life in the Georgia mountains, by all means, stay. Like, by all means, stay and enjoy yourself, okay? But I wasn't. and it just didn't feel good. It didn't feel right. I felt scared. I felt unsafe. So I left. So that's the point of me showing you this picture, okay? Then I pulled up another picture and story because this Shanquella Robinson situation reminds me and a lot of other people of Tamla Horsford, who died in November 2018 while attending a party at a home in Cumming, Georgia. She was a mother of 5. She was 40 years old. She was found unresponsive in the backyard and appeared to have fallen from the home's deck about 14 feet off the ground. But what's interesting about this story is they never found any injuries on her, I don't think. So Tamla is the African American woman sitting in the middle, okay? They never found any injuries, and I don't think they ever truly determined a cause of death for this woman. Now, I bring her up simply because hers was so suspicious. And then I watched a couple of true crime episodes on her case, and the women that they were interviewing were acting so weird afterward. So, like one police interview, I remember the woman came in. I forgot what she brought them. She either brought them like cupcakes or chicken nuggets. I don't remember which one it was. I'll just say cupcakes. She's coming into a police interrogation. And she was like, "Oh, hi. Hey, oh, it is so good to be here. It is so good to see you guys. I brought you all some cupcakes." Like, girl, do you understand what's going on here? Or is this whole situation such a formality for you that you feel comfortable enough to bring the cops cupcakes who are getting ready to interview you about this woman who was found dead at your house? Just don't sit right. It don't sit right. It doesn't sit right. Something is wrong in the sauce. Don't like it. She and the other one that everyone keeps comparing her to is not Jennings. Is it Jenkins? Lord, we got a bot in here. I thought y'all were gone. I thought y'all like gave up. Just ignore the bot, y'all. I don't feel like going through the trouble of deleting him. Or her, whatever it is. Just don't sit right, doesn't feel right. And like with the Tamla case, I always wonder, like, did she ever feel weird ever? Like, did she ever have any? It was Jenkins, okay, Kanika Jenkins. Like, did either one of them ever feel weird about the group they were hanging out with, their friends? Did anything ever like say, I need to get out of here? And I'm not victim blaming. Please believe me, I'm not. I'm just thinking out loud and curious, like, did they ever have anything that screamed at them, you need to go, like, you need to leave now. Leave now. Okay. So I just bring that up just as a reminder that these weird little things happen. Oh yeah, that's what the first part of the show was about. Always love. It says PTE. Have you heard about the girl that was killed on the trip to Mexico with her friends? Absolutely. When you watch the playback, the first part of the show is all about that. Kind of inspired the show as well. So sad, tragic, and very scary. A few more pieces of advice, and then we'll get out of here because I know it's getting late for the East Coast. Don't tell everyone everything. I know it's tempting. I know we all want those super close friends who we can confide in and tell everything to. And if you have that person in your life, you're very lucky. Congratulations. Cherish that relationship. But for the rest of you, try not to disclose every little thing. You know, you can disclose some things, but for the most part, everyone should kind of be on a need to know basis. Simply because, like, again, you don't know exactly what it is that's setting these people off. So if you know you're getting ready to do something major, unless it's a friend you really, really trust or a family member you really, really trust, maybe keep it to yourself until it's already happened. Like, there are days, y'all, and I know this is going to sound crazy. Some of you know my home buying saga drama journey. And there are days where I think to myself, the reason it didn't happen is because I told people. But I told people I thought I could trust, and I don't think they did anything. I think the hatred regarding the event literally, like energetically canceled it out. I know that sounds crazy and probably something for a deeper PTE, probably something I need to talk about over there. But I'm like, if I had kept my mouth shut, I bet you I would have got that house. I bet you it was a townhouse, but I guarantee you, if I hadn't told a soul other than my real estate agent, the loan officer, and my apartment complex who I needed to submit a notice to vacate or whatever it's called, when you're about to leave. If I had just kept it in that tight circle, I guarantee you I would have got that townhouse. But me and my big mouth, y'all say it doesn't sound crazy? Me and my big mouth, I just feel like energetically the salt that can be thrown your way from the jealousy and the hatred regarding me doing something like that canceled it out, because their hatred for the event was stronger than my excitement. I'll save that for another show. I'll save that for a deeper PTE, but I say all that to say don't tell everyone everything. Try to keep some things close to the vest until they've already happened. And then there are some people who take it a step further. And like, let's say, for example, I had actually been successful buying the house. They say don't tell anyone for 90 days after that. So get the house, buy it, keep it quiet, quietly move into your house. Then for 90 days, you're basically consecrating the house, basically. Then on the 91st day, you can tell people. And they're like, when did you do this? Or when did you do this? You'd be like, oh, a couple months ago. I bought it a couple months ago. No big deal. MBD, no big deal. I'm telling y'all, there's something to that. We're going to talk about that. We'll do a show on that. Which is sad, because then I would be like, well, dang, that means other people's thoughts regarding you are stronger than your thoughts regarding yourself. But perhaps I don't understand how powerful that energy is. Yes, Palo Santo all up through the house, right? So there's that. Similar to that, try to post a little less on social media. Absolutely, if you're a social media person, use it, do it. But maybe like don't post like all your makeup, all your clothes, all your handbags, all your shoes. For the girls who enjoy wigs and all the different wigs you have, the expensive wigs that you have, pictures of your house, the interior, people know the whole layout of your house. They've never even been there. Don't do that. Don't do that. Try to reel it in a little bit. Pull it back a little bit. I'm telling you, just give it a shot. Trust me. With that, definitely be confident, but don't be an arrogant person, meaning you brag about what you have. That's like the worst thing that you could do is brag. Like if I ever get money or become a wealthy person, honey, I'm bumming it. I'm schlumming it all around the city. Schlumming it. I'm schlepping it and I'm schlumming it all around the city. Okay? All around the city. Simple stuff. Just jeans and a t-shirt. I just want them to look and go, oh, she ain't got nothing. I'm like, nope. Keep it pushing. I ain't got nothing. I ain't got it, bro. Bro, look at me, bro. Do I look like I have it, bro? I ain't got it, bro. Schlepping it and schlepping it all around the city. Like hobo chic. Okay? I'm so serious. Y'all think I'm joking too? I'm being so serious. So serious. What else do I have here? Try to align your energy with people who have similar goals as you. God, I would give anything to have. Do y'all remember when Vine was out? Vine, Vine, the app, and then they killed it? When Vine first came out, I remember sitting around thinking, I wish I had a friend to make vines with. But I really didn't have anyone on that same energy thread. Like, I don't know where my friends are. I think my friends are creative people. And they're all scattered. And I think a lot of them are over there in California, like in the LA area. That's just what I think. Although there should be a bunch of them out here in Atlanta, because this is like the Hollywood of the South. So But I don't know why I don't bump into them. Probably because I don't go anywhere. Maybe I should get out the house and go somewhere and you'll meet people. But anyway, I just wanted that one creative friend who was so down and like we would just sit around and make skits. God, I wanted that so bad. But, is what it is. But I say that to say align your energy with people who have similar goals as you, who are trying to do the same things. Yeah, your friends should be kind of diverse. You don't want to create an echo chamber. But at the same time, like you want someone you can really do things with and like you're headed in like the same direction, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Try. I know it's not easy, but try. Try your hardest to align that energy with people who have similar goals as you. Don't ever be afraid to change your environment if you have to, meaning leave that job, leave that city, leave that relationship, move, do whatever you got to do. I know that's not always feasible, but when you're able to, do it. If you're able to do it and do it easily, do it. If it means getting away from psychotic, jealous people, do it. Okay? It's not worth it, okay? To stick around and try to mend a jealous fence. Yes, be equally yoked. Absolutely. Okay? Be cautious and never underestimate people. People who have kind hearts and gentle hearts tend to underestimate people. You would never imagine that they could, would, do, fill in the blank. But I'm telling you, the human animal is a strange creature, man. Super strange, okay? And capable of things that you wouldn't even be able to invent if you sat around for 100 years thinking about it. How can I invent something like awful? You would never come up with some of the things that they come up with easily, okay? So be cautious, never underestimate people. And above all else, trust your gut. And I know that's become cliche at this point, but it's so true. Try to trust your gut. Try to listen to it. Try to listen to what it's telling you, especially if it's screaming at you. If it's screaming at you, you have to honor that. If it feels weird, leave, period. And then some of you might say, well, PTE, if I did that, I wouldn't have any friends and I wouldn't have anywhere to go. And I'm like, look, it bees like that sometimes. You know what I mean? Sometimes that's just the way that it is. Sometimes you just end up empty-handed friends wise and with very limited places to go, but you have your peace, sanity, health, safety, all of that is intact. Your money oftentimes is a little bit more intact. And I have to believe, for the sake of my own mental health, that there are good people out there, because if everyone was terrible, I don't think society would have made it this far. Not that we're doing great as a society, but I think the good people that are present are what's kind of holding it together, the glue that's holding it together. So I don't think everyone is messed up, but I do think our society has really been wrecked mentally. One part of that was intentional, I believe, and the other part of that has been unintentional, an unintentional consequence of something else. For example, the whole insecurity thing, like we were talking about earlier, a lot of that simply comes from social media, from the fact that you can literally have a window into everyone's life that you're following, and even some people you're not following. You have a window into all these people's lives, and you're just looking like, wow, they really got it together. They got it going on. You know what I'm saying? They're this, they're that, they're that. Whereas we didn't have that before. The extent of that was looking out your window or going to visit someone at their house, and then you see a few things while you're there or at school or at work, but you didn't have a personal private window into everyone's life in your hand in the past. Now we do. And with filters and everything else, and someone else brought up a good point. I just don't remember where I heard it. They said social media is like a highlight reel of people's lives. So they're not showing you the day-to-day drudgery of their life. They might have been drudging all week, and then on Friday they do something fun and they post it, and it appears like their whole life is like that when it's really not. They're giving you the highlight reel. As a matter of fact, there's an app that I can't remember the name of. I would never download it and use it, and here's why. The premise of the app is they send you a notification, and in that very moment, you take a picture of whatever is in front of you. Either that or a selfie. I can't remember. I don't think it's a selfie though. I think it's whatever is in front of you. So your front facing camera or your back camera, whatever. The one that's not a selfie. So they send you a random notification throughout the day. When you get the notification, you're supposed to take a picture of whatever is in front of you in the moment. So if I got one right now, I would be taking a picture of my computer, keyboard, microphone, desk. That's what's exactly in front of me right now. And then you share that. And the idea behind it is it's more natural, it's more real, it's more like honest, it's more what's the word? I guess transparent, maybe vulnerable, you know? But apparently people really like it. I just cannot think of the name of that app. I can't think of it. I can't believe I can't think of the name of that app. But it's it says what a strange game, right? How weird, right? Um, but apparently people really like it. The people who've downloaded it and used it, they really like it because they feel like they don't have quite as much pressure to be perfect. But anyway, I don't even know how I got over there. How did I get on that topic? No clue. Oh, I was just saying, wait, yeah, social media, comparison, insecurity. I don't know. I don't know how I got over there. But anyway, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I'm not going to do comments just because we've been running a little long and it's getting a little late. But I will be reading your comments once they upload to YouTube. What else? What else? I feel like, oh, we have so much to catch up on. I don't know what kind of show I'm going to set up, but we have to talk about Kanye and Kyrie. We've got to talk about the collapse of FTX. We've got to talk about Elizabeth Holmes, the Theranos CEO, who I did a video on a couple years ago, actually, getting 11 years in jail for defrauding investors and regarding those blood tests and stuff. Y'all remember that? We got to talk about that. And there was something else I just can't remember. Cannot remember what the fourth thing was. It might have been that plane crash in Texas with the B-52 bomber and the P-63. Did y'all see that? OMG. So we have so much to talk about and so much to catch up on. We'll do that soon and very soon, coming up soon. When? I'm not going to promise, but soon. I think you will hear from me again probably before November is out, which is only 9 days. So sometime over the next week, we'll get together and we'll just catch up on everything. Okay? Absolutely everything that's been going on. But yeah, with that, you guys, rest in peace to Shanquella Robinson. I am so sorry that happened to you. Let this be a lesson to us all. Just, oof, my goodness. God, how sad and how scary. I would have ran out of that hotel room butt naked. I would have left, like I would have jumped over the balcony or something. Something. Naked AF, something. I would have had to get out of there. But we don't know. Like some people are saying she was drugged. So she may not have even had the presence of mind to do that. So y'all just be careful out here. Please be careful. Don't be afraid to be the oddball out. Don't be afraid to walk alone if you have to. Do not be afraid to separate from the group if you have to. Let them talk bad about you. Let them call you names. Let them do all of those things. As long as you walk away safe and in one piece and honoring your inner instinct, there's that. Remember, jealousy is very complex. It's very strange. It is very unpredictable. You can't control someone else's jealousy, so don't try. All you can really do is just be on the lookout for it. And when someone flat out tells you to your face, I'm jealous of you, you should probably believe them. Believe them and keep an eye on that one, because that jealousy brews, it doesn't go away. It brews like a stew. And it makes them crazier and crazier and crazier over time. It really does. I'm not kidding. Oh, yeah, the midterm result. Yeah, that's what we got to talk about. Oh, yeah. Thank you for reminding me. How did it go? Did it go how y'all wanted it to go? I hope so. I hope it. May the odds ever be in your favor, honey. And with that, I want you all to have a wonderful evening, and we will talk again very soon. To my playback squad, please leave your comments down below, and we will get together again very soon. Okay, you guys? Thanks for coming. I appreciate your support and your engagement. All right. Talk to you soon.